No theme park is perfect. It's just not how it works. There can always be something to make it better. Universal in Orlando comes pretty close. I already did a video on the ride flaw at Studios. That video is in the description down below. But this video is going to be about what changes I wish Universal would do to improve the overall park experience. The first thing is something really small, but it's something I've always thought, and then when I brought Christian down, he said the exact same thing to me without me even saying anything. So we're 2 for 2, so that means obviously everyone agrees on this. Too many rides have the water getting sprayed on you during it. It's fine on Spider-Man. It's perfectly gross and timed on Kong. Obviously, it needs to be on the water rides like Bluto's and Ripsaw Falls and River Adventure. It's perfect on One Fish, Two Fish. Hilarious story that I'll tell sometime on it. But does it really need to be on Gringotts? I'd argue, no. Transformers doesn't feel like it needs it, and Fast and Furious definitely doesn't need it. Well, at least the water doesn't smell anymore. But yeah, let's get rid of the water on Fast and Furious. Actually, let's get rid of the whole attraction. I feel like I'm missing some rides, but it's excessive, and I really hope the Shrek replacement doesn't have it, but it probably will. Number 2, a quicker way to get from park to park when you're in the back of the park. When you're in the front, no problem. You leave, cut through City Walk, go back into the other park, all good. But if you're in the back of the park and you don't have Express Pass, you have to wait in a very, very long line for the Hogwarts Express. Thankfully, they added Express Pass to Hogwarts because they used to not have that, and that would make insane waits. But if you're in the back of the park and you don't have Express, you either have to wait in a long line or walk to the front of the park and go across and go back in, which is usually quicker than waiting in line for the Hogwarts Express. I don't feel it's practical to add another train, which would greatly help with capacity. Have one going one way, one going the other way. That would help immensely, but I don't think that's going to practically happen. The idea I have is have an enclosed walkway. Keep it Harry Potter themed so it can make it so people still can't see backstage. That's important to Universal. But theme it out and make it wide enough that people can see all of the immersion, take pictures, while other people can just cut through and walk. That would be a great way to be able to mix those two and add an easy, quicker way to get from the back of one park to the back of the other park. Number 3, and this needs to happen immediately, make Hagrid's or Velocicoaster part of Express. Honestly, I wish both would be made Express, but that's not likely going to happen. New attractions don't get added to Express for the most part, Transformers being one of the few exceptions. Honestly, might be the only exception. But to have 2 of the best attractions both in the same park, not part of Express, just feels wrong given how high the price for Express Pass is. Hagrid's is older than Velocicoaster, so if you wanted to make the older ride the new Express attraction, I get it. Now, I don't think that will happen because of the popularity of Hagrid's. Velocicoaster into Express just makes sense, and it should happen immediately. Honestly, I wish they added both, but at least one of the 2 is something that needs to happen. Number 4, I wanted to stay practical on this list, so I'm not including things like lowering the price of everything because that ain't happening. But I wanted to go a little bit of a stretch out of the practicality for where I can hope. Change the locker setup. For those who don't know, you have to put all of your items in lockers, including your phone, on rides like Hulk, Velocicoaster, Rip Ride Rocket. Other rides require putting your bag in a locker like Men in Black. Lockers are free at rides that require it, which is great, but the only ride that does it right is Velocicoaster. You keep all of your stuff with you until the last section before you ride, and then you put your phone and everything else in a locker, and then you get it after you ride on the other side, so you don't have that log jam. On other rides like Rip Ride Rocket and Hulk, you gotta drop it off before you go. No fun to pass the time while you're waiting in line, and it's a log jam because everyone's trying to go in and out at the same place. It's just a mess. Velocicoaster does it right, so I hope rides like Hulk, Rip Ride Rocket would adjust their queue to be able to make the new locker system. That's probably not gonna happen, but going forward, what I hope and what I expect is all rides that require lockers in the future will follow the Velocicoaster system. And finally, a better improvement in rides on the studio side, but I already have a video all dedicated to that, as I referenced earlier. Not too long of a list of things that can improve at Universal down in Orlando. Did I miss anything that you think practically should be changed and what would be better? If you do, put that down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.